Mark Stern, Capital Hoops here, and today I've got maybe a Zoom that I've looked more forward to than any Zoom I've done in my life running Capital Hoops, and I've been doing a lot of Zooms and running Capital Hoops for a long, long time. I've got Cam Ward here, recent two-time Maryland Public School 2A state champion, and I've
Yep.
got Mike Roberts on here, the former Maryland Public School all-time scoring leader, whose 2,611 points were recently eclipsed by Cam Ward, who added another 3 or 4 games worth of points onto that record, finished with 2,714 points after his state championship win the other day. Guys, it's really cool to have both of you on the same Zoom, talking together, sharing stories, experiences about basically just getting buckets. Um, Mike, I want to start with you. I guess it's time you officially hand the torch over to Cam Ward. I've been sending you some highlights of him over the last month or so as he's been, chasing your record and eclipsing your record. But I'm sure it's kind of cool to see the guy who knocked you to number two. Maybe some bitter feelings a little bit down under there, but
Not at all, man. I've held a crown for 33 years, man. So it was getting heavy. I'm 50 years. I just turned 50 and it started getting to me. I was like, is anybody gonna break this record or what? And lo and behold, Cam Ward did it. And hey, man, hats off to you. That's what that's what basketball is all about. Records are made to be broken. And he's one of those guys that has the proclivity to put the hard work in and has that will to win. And it's reflective in two state championships and being able to take the crown. So hats off to you, man.
Hey man, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
so Cam, I know as you were chasing this record, like let's get the story straight. So the story was you kind of knew you were in the ballpark, but didn't really know what it was. You didn't want to know. You wanted it to kind of just like happen naturally and
Yeah.
let things play out the way they were. But no one really knew exactly what the record was.
Mm.
But you thought you were going to break it like 2 months ago when you were chasing down Zach Thomas of Oakdale High School, who had like around 2,300 something.
Yeah.
And then we started doing some research. I had heard about Mike before. I started searching Mike on Facebook, like really trying to get to the bottom of this because this is the first time like Mike's been tested, like, I mean,
Mm.
maybe ever. So it was time to like really put the work in and connect the dots. And when we did, I know they had like a celebration kind of planned at Largo for you. I don't know how much you knew about that night,
I
but
did.
but you know, 24 hours before the game, everyone figures out, oh man, like Mike Roberts is a couple hundred points on top of the guy who we thought might have been leader in the state. So
Exactly.
take me through the whirlwind of kind of chasing this record while trying to win and win a state
Yeah.
championship is the number one focus. You got this kind of secondary thing going on in the background.
Dang, it's crazy because kind of like I've been saying, like I didn't want to know where I was because last year when I broke the Largo all-time score record, everybody kept telling me how many points I was off, and it just like that's all I could think about going to the game was like, all right, I need this amount of points, I need this amount of points. So this time when it was like, well, you could like you have a chance to break it, I was like, don't tell me. Like if I get close, don't tell me. If I'm 1 point off, don't tell me. If I need one more bucket, don't tell me. Just allow me to just if I do it, I do it. Cause then I think I was supposed to break it versus Gwynn Park because they said I need like 20. Or they said I need like below my average. At that time I was averaging like 33. So it was like, you need below your average. I was like, oh, that's nothing. All right, but I get this next game. So I did it, and it was like, well, you're like a couple hundred off. I said, how'd that work? They said, well, they did more research because the MPSSAA people, they don't keep the records of the points. So I'm like, it was really no logical answer for it. So then going through the games, I had a couple games where I didn't really have a lot of points for real. And so they started getting nervous. They was like, well, is he going to be able to do it? And I was like, we got half the season left. I think we'll be fine. Even if it had to go into the playoffs or something, I was like, bro, we just got to do it. Then we lost 2 games because of the altercations versus Fairmont. So we lost that game, which was points because I had like 20 at
So
half.
so Mike, so they had a game that was stopped at halftime. Is that right, Cam? Halftime?
Yeah, stopped at halftime.
And the points from that game didn't count because the game
What?
officially ruled a no contest. So he
Yeah.
had a half a game's worth of points stripped away. And then I believe you guys had to forfeit the next game, or
We
was it?
had to forfeit the next two,
He had to
What?
forfeit the next two. So he had three games that were just taken off the schedule as he's chasing your record.
literally.
So what looked like to be a slam dunk is now looking like they got to win in the playoffs in order for this thing to stay
Yeah,
alive.
in order for it to happen.
And they got tested in the playoffs hard. I mean, they were the prohibitive favorite to win, but they could have lost their last three games. The other team had shots that could have won the game against them. You know,
Yeah, they
Wow, I've
definitely.
never heard that before.
yeah, pretty wild skenario.
Yeah.
That
We
must
had
have been
three
an
Going,
games.
intense game.
keep going,
Yeah,
keep going, Cam. Keep going, Cam.
man.
So
So those three games get taken away. I think those those three games taken away. What helped us, well, what helped me was we got to play in the county championship game. That game actually gave us a game back. So that game helped us out because I think I had 31 or 32. So that helped that game because we got a game back. But the Fairmont game, I had 20 at halftime. So I would have hit it the Laurel game, but they took the points away. So we had to make those points back up. Then we got a first round game because we were the 2 seed because we had forfeited 2 games in a row, which also helped us because then we got an extra game on top of that. So we had to play a first round game, which helped because I had like 44 that game. So that helped completely. And after that, they knew I was going to get it the next game. But me not really being like locked into that, I was more so locked in the game. Coach Izzo and them that came to the game, but they had been told me that they was coming to that game specifically. But I never put two and two together when I was like, well, they're here. Am I close? I never really thought about that. And then plus I was sick. I literally just got sick maybe 2 days before. So I'm just thinking, I'm just trying to win the game. I want to go home, lay down, go to sleep. So I end up hitting it that same night. And they was like, well, they told me I need like 100 more points. So they were lying to me the whole time when I really need like 20. So I'm thinking it's no way I'm making this. We got like 4 games left. I'm like, yo, I'm not hitting it because I'm like, I'm 100 points off. We got like 3 games left. I'm not going to hit this at all. Then they're like, well, nah, I was really like 20 away. So when I hit it in the playoffs, I never really pictured like, well, everybody was here. Like the coaching staff was there. Some alumni were waiting too. So I'm like, well, I never put two and two together. So then when I hit it and they said that, I was like, wait, so y'all been lying to me this whole time? And it was like, well, you said you didn't want to know, but that don't mean lie to me though, right? Like, I mean, like, don't lie to me about it, because then now I'm thinking, ain't no way I'm getting this. I'm trying extra hard, but I'm glad they did because it ended up working out, ended up getting it, and then once I got it, it just ended perfectly. So,
Mike, tell us a little bit about your scoring parade. Like Cam, obviously you scored in bunches, and you don't get there by scoring 20, 25 a game. You gotta have lots of big games. You gotta be
yeah,
healthy, like we talked about in our first interview.
Yeah.
You miss a handful of games, you go down with an injury one season for 8 games, it's curtains. There's no way you're able to
not
eclipse
at all.
this. So talk about your longevity and just your consistency throughout the process for you getting this number of points.
Well, I used to shoot 500 jump shots a day, and if I could get another 500 in, you know, God willing, but I'd go out and I just leave it out there on the floor. I knew I had to hit the boards as much as I possibly could. So I would average anywhere from 10, 12 to 15 rebounds a game, and half of those were putbacks. I'd get to the free throw line, and if there was a three, I'd hit a three. But I was deadly from mid range, so I would always get hit on the arm, and I double clutch, and I end up making the basket. So when I was going into my junior year, and we were at basketball camp, and I beat this guy 1-on-1 that had already verbally committed going to Georgia Tech, then I knew I was going to be something good. And that's when Coach Bruin from Colgate, at the time, he was the Catholic University coach. He's like, hey, I'm going to keep my eye on you for the next 2 years. And he did. So I felt like I was like, I want to play for Coach Bruin. I've known him since I was 12. So I would go hard. And from junior, senior year, I probably had probably 20, 30 plus games, 30-point games. So I was just going hard, trying to do whatever I could to get me a spot at Colgate, because it was a great school. I know I wanted to get away from. I knew there was something outside of Maryland. I wanted to get away, and broaden my horizons. And I just kept trying to leave it out there on the court every night. And my senior year, I knew that my one of my mentors, I was going to be eclipsing his record at some point of the year. And then the first game of the season, I'm playing against a guy that I grew up with, Adrian Dorn, and he ended up transferring to Snow Hill. So I got him guarding me the whole time. So I lit him up for 45 that game.
Sheesh.
And then and I broke Gerald Croswell's record. So the next couple of games were like 42, 44, 40, 40. And then I don't know. I guess I slowed down a little bit. But and
Yeah.
then getting closer to playoff time, I wanted to try to conserve my energy and not go as hard and try to get ready for, the playoffs. So it was a lot of 30-point games, some 28-point games there, except for James and Bennett when I scored 52. I had 9 of 11 from three-point range because I had 49 against them my junior year. I wanted to go out and show them I could do it again.
And that was your career high? That was your career
Yeah,
high?
52.
Cam, do you know what your career high is?
That's a great question. I don't know. In a varsity game, I
Yeah.
don't know, honestly. I played some JV Summer League. I had 54 in JV, but I don't. I wonder if I ever had 50 at,
Yeah, I'm trying to
during my.
think too. I don't remember, but you'd probably remember better
I
than I.
don't think I've had a lot of 40-point
Yeah.
games. I've had a lot of 40-point games. I've had a lot of 40, like close to 50 ranges. I think the high was like 48 or something, or like
What is
47.
there for each of you? I assume the Bennett game for you, Mike, is kind of the one scoring game that like sticks out. That's like at the
That's the
mountain,
one.
the mountaintop.
Yeah, because I hit 9 threes, it's still the school record, and I only shot 11. So I was hot that game.
Fire.
We kept run we were running the same play and they just couldn't stop it.
And you got one game that sticks out in your mind as like that was the best scoring game of like my high school
Best
career,
scoring game. Mm.
or just a game where you were just like on fire, like you had everything clicking and you were
My
just
freshman
dialed in.
year, I think my freshman year when we played Douglas, I had 7 threes. I think that was the best. I think that was my best shooting game
Yeah.
as far as like shooting wise, but scoring might have been that CMIT game we played North when I had 45 and I caught the lob from full court. I think that might have been the best scoring wise
Okay.
game that I probably played.
Okay. Hey, what advice do you guys have? I'm sure there's a lot of basketball players watching this. If someone out there aspires to be the next Mike Roberts, the next Cam Ward, like what's the secret to scoring the ball? Because scoring and being a great player are mutually exclusive. Being a scorer takes, a certain skill set. What is that skill set? What do you have to do to score the ball so prolifically?
Honestly, it's repetition is the mother of learning. So you got to put the work in. And when I say 500 jump shots, like I'm starting out, 2 feet from the basket, and I'm working my way around the perimeter. Then I take another step out, another round of 100, take another step out, another round of 100 until I get to the 3-point line. And then I'm catching the ball and I'm pump faking going to my left and going to my right for my last 100. You just got to put the work in and everything else is going to come to you. But a lot of people, they'll put shots, get shots up, but it's not game time shots. Throw the ball to yourself, square up, and make a move, and just be strong about it because you're gonna get hit.
Definitely.
Is there anything beyond that though? Because I'm sure there's a lot of guys that go out and take 500 shots a day. Like, is it being able to get yourself to the free throw line? Is it like what are the little things that allow you to score at a rate that is basically unparalleled until Cam Ward came along?
Well, when I used to shoot 500 jump shots in the gym with my coach, like he would literally grab my arm and I would shoot the ball because I know I was going to get hit playing down low. So it's repetition. That's all it is. You got to go hard. You got to go game time speed. You can't just go out and shoot 500 jump shots. You got to be in game mode. every time.
And Cam, for you, I mean, aside from being 6'8" and being really versatile and really strong and really athletic and really smart, like, what do you attribute scoring this many points to? Or is it just what I just said?
I think it might be just what you just said. Being 6'8", 6'9" is also a very blessing to be. Kind of some of the easy buckets you get, but I would say just relentless. Honestly, like if you really want to go score however much, you can really go do it if you want to. And then kind of what you said is being smart about it. I feel like if you look at like all my games, I don't think I was ever not efficient. I think I shot 60% for the career, actually, like just from the field in general. Like you gotta take smart shots. You're not gonna score taking bad shots. I
Right.
mean, it can work, but you're not gonna get nowhere with it. I think being efficient from the line also helps because I mean it's free throws. Like those are those are times where the clock not running. It's two shots, two free throws, and one's old school 3-point plays. I feel like those are more valuable than people think. But I think for me, it was definitely getting to the line, being efficient, and then just being smart about it. You get a couple steals, you get a couple blocks. Like those are possessions that you get back for maybe if you missed a free throw or something like. And then just I think making your opponents want to quit. When you make them want to quit, they start doing out of body things, out of characteristics things. They start overplaying. They start talking to themselves. They get texts. Like those are things that contribute to points. I think it's being smarter than your opponent and making them want to quit. Honestly, because if they quit, it just becomes easy. Because now they're not trying to guard you for real. They get unmotivated, demoralized. Oh, he's cooking me. I don't want to play no more. So then you're not
100%.
getting everybody's highest thing. But I think just if you want it, you can go get it. Honestly.
Though those 50-50 balls, they come, a lot of people take them for granted, and just pressing people and taking them out of their comfort zone so they don't set up their half court offense, you're going to get easy buckets. And it is demoralizing when you take them out of their game. They start thinking, and then it's all and the momentum just changes at that point.
Yeah. And definitely fast breaks. Fast breaks is a way to do it, especially off rebounds. If you can push off a rebound, I feel like that gives you a different type of aspect to your game. I feel like most guys really, I feel like most guys underappreciate how like you getting a board and being able to push it can like translate to offense. Because it's like, I mean, if you watch the state championship game, they had a big, uh, he couldn't really run for real. So every time I got the board, it's like, all right, well, if you can run and beat it on the floor, you're playing against smaller guys that you can obviously finish over top of. But I feel like that's an underrated skill to have, especially being like 6'8", to be able to push the ball up the court and then really make something happen off of it. I feel like that's the easy way to get points too because the defense isn't set, like you said. And then plus, they know you're scoring. They know the ball is going to you. You're going to see doubles, triples, which force you to pass. But, I mean, if you're skilled enough to make the IQ plays, then if your teammates get – also teammates. Teammates was a big part because if your teammates are hitting shots, they can't overhelp on you anymore. So then if you know, hey, man, if it's one-on-one, I'm going to easily score this ball. But if you see two, you got to pass it out. They make shots. It just makes your life easier. So having a good supporting cast also helps.
So I want to ask a question about that I definitely can't relate to. A lot of people can't relate to, but I'm curious to get your insight on this. So you're scoring tons of points, but you have these teammates that aren't getting as many shots, obviously, because if you're scoring this many points, you're taking a heck of a lot of shots. What is Talk to me about how it works within the team taking this many shots and scoring this many points. Like, do you feel like your teammates are ever kind of irritated that they're not getting the ball enough because you're obviously the focal point and you're scoring this many points? Or is it everyone's goal is to win? Our best chance to win is with Mike or Cam taking 24 shots a game, and that's it. I'm sure there's a little bit of both, but walk me through that aspect of it.
I think I think your teammates know. Um, if your teammates aren't haters, I feel like some teammates be haters, but I feel like in a in a team where you got to show that you deserve what you have type thing. I feel like that's one thing I did at Largo was like, all right, you got all these offers, you got everything, but that don't mean you can't work. Like you got to still be the first one there. You got to show them like, all right, well, I'm just not letting this go to my head. Oh, you got to give me the ball because I'm this, I'm that. Like I think being being transparent to know that like, hey man, like I'm still human. Like these are still my guys at the end of the day. Like you can't look at them as, oh well, they don't have what you have, so they're not as good as you. You deserve the ball. No, because at some points you're gonna need them to have your back, and at some points you're gonna need
Exactly.
them to actually show up and play. Because you scoring 40, all right, that's fine. But what if the other team got 60? They like your teammates still have to score the ball at some point too. But also, I feel like being efficient. You don't really have to take a lot of shots if you're being efficient. I think the most shots I took my whole career might have been 24, 25 shots. Like
Really?
majority of my nights were maybe like 14 for 18,
Yeah.
15 for 17. Like just taking the high quality shots that you know you can get. And then of course you take a bad shots here and there just to see what type of nights you're having. But
Right.
Right.
I mean, I feel like those all like accumulate to you being efficient and you showing like your guys like, hey man, like I'm gonna put in the hard work that you do. So I feel like earning earning trust builds character. And I feel like you play your role and you do your job. I feel like I feel like my team has known their role and like done their job to the greatest part of my 4 years, and then just allowing me to be me, honestly, and then also just having the confidence like when I don't have it going, someone else can pick up that slack too. So I think it's just all a trust factor to where all right, well, some of these shots may be bad shots, but they trust me like all right, well, he gonna make the next one or he gonna pass it to me on the next one. I feel like that's just a trust factor that you gotta have.
Mike, when you were getting busy in the early 90s, was there ever a sense of like I'm shooting too much, my guys aren't going to be happy with me, or was everyone just like on board with just Mike kind of being that ultimate scorer?
Well, there's times where I'm going to be double teamed and I'm going to look for someone, and like your coach has to manage everybody's expectations up front.
Sure.
Hey, Brad Marshall, you're the shooter. Mike Roberts, you're the focal point down low. And if you want, you can go one on one when you want. Dwayne Kane, you're the quarterback. Get everybody the ball where they need to, and everything else is going to work itself out. There's times where I'm not going to take a lot of shots, and I'm going to eat from just the weak side and boarding, and I just get a lot of putbacks. So I always encourage my guys if they're not shooting the ball and they should, I encourage them to do so, and let them know that hey, I got your back. If you miss, I'm going to be boxing somebody out, and I'm going to get it.
Hey, you can rebound a missed shot. You can't rebound a turnover.
100%.
You can rebound a missed shot. Can't rebound a turnover. So
Yeah, and you got everybody's got to be on the same accord, and you got to give them a pat on the back when they miss a shot. Like just encourage them to do so. Keep shooting. I'm like, that's what it's all about. Just being there for each other.
Yeah. So Cam, the likelihood of you continuing to score 30, 32 a game is probably dwindling quite a bit. Although it's possible, it's very likely that that scoring prowess will subside a little bit. Mike, do you remember at Colgate when you went into, this Division One program being the 36 a game point scorer, and now you're in a new situation on a new team with new guys where you're not the focal point. You're not getting 24 shots a game, and there's a major change that goes on. Do you remember that? And how were you able to adjust? And what advice do you have from Cam from going to be the man to, like he said a few minutes ago, I got to go in and try to fight and earn some minutes next year? Talk
Yeah.
about that dichotomy.
Hey, you come in, you got a big head, all-time leading scorer in the state of Maryland. You're gonna have people that are gonna be hating on you. They think they're either they're the top recruit or they're the man. They're the man. You just got to go in and put your work in. I couldn't guard anybody at first, but I was the shortest guy on the team. But I had heart, and I had a 38-inch vertical leap, so I would go hit the boards. I would try to outplay everyone. I and just get some, get those reps up, get stronger because you're gonna get hit hard. And man, I would come off screens and people would knock the wind out of me. I was like, I got to get in the gym, and I thought I was strong. I just hit the gym. I got my reps in. And then when game time came and I didn't get in the game, and they were like, hey, Roberts. And then the microwave was born. I'd go in there and I'd put shots up. The same shots that I normally make. I was a spark plug off the bench until my sophomore year, and then they started me. So you just got to go hard, get stronger, and just believe in yourself because you're gonna have a lot of guys that's gonna be hating on you because you're the all-time leading scorer in the state of Maryland now. So just keep doing what you're doing. get stronger, take the same shots that you normally make, and try and get better. That's all.
What are your expectations for next year, Cam? Like not in terms of minutes, but in terms of just your role obviously being a lot different and you having to really earn some stuff right now
Yeah.
because you earned everything at Largo as a freshman and things were kind of smooth sailing to some degree from that point on in terms of like you establishing yourself and being the scorer and being the man and being the best player in PG County. But now it's like a whole reset where you got to reprove yourself. What are your expectations?
I'm actually excited for it. I'm excited because I feel like it's a challenge. I wouldn't say that public school became comfortable, but it just became like, all right, you know what you're about to do. Like it started to become an expectation. So I think I'm ready to really like find that excitement again to where it's like, all right, I'm coming in here, I gotta do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm just expecting myself to come in there, prove a point that like, hey man, like I can come in here and hang with you guys, but also just to be a piece, honestly. I mean, they're a 2 seed in the tournament right now. They almost win 30 games this year, Big Ten champions. I feel like going in there and trying to prove that you're the guy is kind of selfish. I feel like that's not what Izzo's looking for. He just wants me to go in there and be myself. So I feel like going in there, being myself, have my own personality, and just looking to be a part of a championship team. They're gonna go far in the tournament this year, and I know next year they're gonna be like, "Hey man, we got to either win the national championship again, or that's what they're trying to get to." So I'm just trying to play a part and hopefully be one of a key factors in why we win games next year. But I'm not looking in there like ego wise or I'm all time leading scorer. I got to do this. I got to have the ball. No, that's not how that works. Because there's been guys that's been there 2-3 years that have earned that right to say, all right, well, this could be my team next year because they've been there. They've been through the wars, the struggles. So I'm just going in there. Just expectations are to just go in there, play minutes, contribute, do what's asked of me, and then just earn my time from there. So I just got to establish myself first in the summertime, make it known that I'm a hard worker. I'm not here to just be here. Like, yeah, it's cool to be here, like you got here, but I'm trying to actually be a piece and be recognized as somebody.
Cam, at the PG County and Maryland level, I think everyone would say you're a very well-rounded player. There's really no weaknesses you have. But when you get to the next level, there's probably things that you're going to need to work on.
Yeah,
What do you think you need to work on the most?
I think I needed to get in shape as far as college shape. When I went on my visit up there, when I went up there and I had to do my visit and stuff, I think that it was different because like really having to work out with them and stuff, it was like, dang, these guys are strong, they running, it's fast paced. So, but I think at the end of the day, I feel like I gotta get in shape. Uh, the three line is farther, so I gotta get stronger as far as my wrist work and just making sure that I get consistent reps up. Like Mike said, just shooting the ball more, getting reps. But I think that's the key things: reps. Trying to make sure that I can take contact too, because those guys is physical, man. Like
Yeah.
watching them play in person, them guys is physical, and they ain't calling no fouls in the Big Ten. So
No.
you can get away with some things. So I'm looking forward to that too, because in
I
high
feel like
school,
I feel like that part you're going to be all right with. I
yeah,
feel
that
like
part I'm looking
that
forward to.
part's going to translate pretty well for you.
Yeah, all the hits I'm taking in high school, all the rough pushing around, I actually get to hand them back out and not
Right.
get called for a foul. I'm
Right.
looking I'm looking forward to that part maybe the most. Just being able to hit people back because I hit people back now and it's like, oh, he's the bigger guy. He's always the aggressor, the angry
Bully.
guy. Like it's just such a bad narrative around like, dang, well, they doing it to him and then he do it back and it's a problem. Like, he's the aggressor. He's too rough. He doesn't play with any sportsmanship. And it's like, so what was they doing first? Like I'm the bad guy, but I'm looking forward to the physicality. I'm looking forward to definitely showing more parts of my game because that's what's going to be needed there. The bully ball may not be there because you got 7 footers down there. You ain't bullying them out the way. So definitely adding more aspects to my game to be way more versatile than I already am. And I'm just looking forward to just changing my whole demeanor of just being a new guy, wanting to show and earn the respect of the older guys, and just show them that I'm here to play and I'm here to really just help them achieve their goals. And then I feel like all the individual stuff that I want will come throughout the team success.
Great answer. Great answer. Um, one more thing before we wrap it up, and maybe we'll have some parting thoughts. So, Mike, I really want to thank you for being willing to like talk to Cam, talk to me. We never met up until a month ago, and we've kind of, developed, a good relationship over the last month and talking through
100%.
all this thing. My one ask for Cam is 20 years from now, 30 years from now, when you're, a four-time NBA All-Star and you're the man, and some kid comes around and breaks your record, you got to make sure you
Oh, I'll
dedicate
be right back here on
you
it. Yes, sir.
dedicate some time, and we get the four of us on the Zoom, and we
Yeah.
sing that kid's praises.
Hey, I'll be back on it. Hopefully it is broken. I do want to be a little selfish and hold it for a little bit, at least a couple years maybe.
Hey, you
But
hang it, you hold on to it as long as Mike did. Me and Mike might not be around for that next.
hey, man, I'm trying to hold on to for at least a couple years. I know it's so many talented guys that's coming in to high school, especially as freshmen and especially now. But hopefully somebody does it soon. Just because I'm just that type of person. I want to see everybody win, and then we got a bunch of talented kids coming in to just high school in general within Maryland, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the game changes because I mean they're tall, they're as good, but I feel like people's skill sets are way better now as kids. So I'm looking forward to seeing how their skill sets translates, and hopefully it's another public school kid. Hopefully another public school kid breaks it.
This is a public school record. There's
Yeah.
private school kids who have more than 40.
Yeah, they have like
Oh,
4,000.
Yeah, yeah.
oh, yeah. I mean, but that's what they get to play from like seventh grade. Like,
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
and they get to play 40 games a year. But yeah, there's
yeah,
private school kids with 3,500 points in Maryland.
man,
But it's a different set of rules, like you said, and it
yeah.
doesn't really line up with what y'all did with the stringent schedule
Yeah,
and so
man.
forth.
Hopefully, a public school kid. Well, it is a public school record, but hopefully, it's somebody within PG County. Not saying the Bayside ain't got it, but hopefully, somebody from PG County breaks it and just keeps it going. But whoever breaks it next, I'd be happy for them. Glad that they got to do it, and I'd have to ask the same question that you asked me, and Mike, just like, what did you do that was so different? Maybe they shoot a bunch of threes. Maybe they shoot 20 free throws a game. Who knows? I just want to see how they do it and what they did. But
I think the most likely way someone breaks it, honestly, as I think about it, is if somehow they expand the season and instead of playing
yeah.
24 games a year, the county says, "All right, next year you get to play 28 games a year." I
I
think
wish if we played
that
30 games, I might be at 3,000.
right. But
Easy.
I think that could potentially unleash some scores in y'all's
Yeah,
wavelength.
yeah. Hopefully they treat us better than how they treated us, man. With just not playing a lot of games, not being able to travel to the big Showtime games. Because I feel like it's some public schools that could kind of play in these
Yeah,
showcase tournaments and really make some noise. As far as this last past year, I feel like we could have played in some of the bigger tournaments, but also I feel like they start too late. We start in November. Everybody else kind of is playing games in November early, and then our first play date is December 5th. Like I
yeah.
feel like it just travels so long into where people can really start playing these competition games. But hopefully they allow them to travel more. I like to see some teams play out of town. I think because we didn't really get to go out of town. We were supposed to go to Chicago, but we didn't get to go because they didn't approve us to go because it was too early in the season and stuff. But hopefully they change some rules around to where they can actually play these high level games and show that public school basketball is still like a powerhouse within Maryland.
For sure. What else you got, Mike, before we part ways? Any parting words to your successor over here?
Hey, I just wish him all the Cam. I wish you all the best, man. It's great to finally meet you. I know you're gonna do some. I know you're gonna represent Maryland to the fullest going into the Big Ten, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds for you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad I got to meet you. I think I told Mark one day. I don't know. It was one day in the interview, and I was like, I definitely got to meet him and just talk to him because I was just so excited to just know that like somebody else was willing to like talk to me about it more so than anything. Just because some people kind of be like, just like he broke it. I don't want to speak to him or whatever. But the fact that you actually like took the time out of your schedule just to like talk to me about it and just how it was playing back in your day, it means a lot to me knowing that somebody actually cares about like public school kids as much as I do, and just as far as just breaking such a prestige record. So I'm honored to get to talk to you and just everything.
Me as well, my man.
Well put, Cam. Well put. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate both of y'all's time. Cam, your career is now over. I'm sure you got a couple All-Star games in the near future, but How does it feel that this prestigious, incredible, like I said on the air the other day, probably the most decorated high school career in the history of public schools in the state of Maryland? Um, how does it feel that things are over now, man?
Uh, I don't know. It hit me yesterday, kind of, sort of. Hit me yesterday, like, dang, like this is our last little go around as far as games and stuff. But uh, I'm glad. I'm glad I got to do it the right way. I'm glad I got to do it my way, honestly, because kind of like what I said to you, like the private school, they've seen kids like us already. They've seen the blueprints and the prototypes and stuff like that. So, but I'm just thankful that I got to do it my way. I got to do it with my friends, my family, and then people that I've grown up playing with, and then now we all the same high school playing. So I feel like it just made it all better. I got the true high school experience and still got everything that I wanted. So I feel like I did it the right way. I'm glad I did it the right way, and I don't know. Hopefully, I'm mentioned in the conversations of one of the greats when it comes to talking about high school basketball in Maryland. Hopefully, I'm mentioned in those conversations from the years on. But I'm glad I did the right way. I'm glad I accomplished what I accomplished, and I did it with the people that I love the most. So I couldn't ask for a better high school career. And now, hopefully, I get to make more memories and more accomplishments at the next level.
Well put, Cam. Well put. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate your time. I know Mike and I will both be watching you at the next level, Cam, rooting for you. At some point
100%.
in the next few years, I'll be making my way out to Michigan State to come see you and Jordan play.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, I think that's a wrap.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right, you too, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, gentlemen.